quiet corner of an old town stood a tiny antique shop named Elliot's Wonders. Most people walked past it without even noticing, but those who entered never forgot what they saw. The shopkeeper, Mr. Elliot, was a thin old man with silver hair, foggy eyes, and a strange smile. The kind of smile that made you feel as if he already knew your story. Even before you spoke a word, one rainy evening, a young man named Adrian entered the shop. He loved antique things, but that day, something else pulled him inside. A whisper, soft as a breeze, calling his name. Adrian! Adrian! He looked around. Nothing moved. No one else was there except Mr. Elliot. Adrian tried to shake off the weird feeling and went deeper into the shop. Everything smelled like dust, old books, and forgotten time. And then he saw it. A small wooden music box, carved with symbols he had never seen before. When he touched it, his fingers froze. The wood was ice cold. Suddenly, the whisper returned. Don't open it. Adrian quickly turned around, heart racing. Did you say something? He asked. The old shopkeeper. Mr. Elliot didn't look at him. He simply cleaned a glass jar and whispered, Not everything in this shop belongs to the living. That should have been Adrian's warning. But curiosity is a dangerous thing. Adrian bought the music box and took it home. That night, he placed it on his desk and stared at it. The carvings almost looked like eyes watching him. He hesitated, but curiosity won. He opened the lid. The music box played a haunting melody. Slow, empty, as if each note carried a memory of pain. And then the lights flickered. A cold wind blew inside his locked room. The melody grew louder and louder until Adrian covered his ears in fear. When it finally stopped, the room was silent. But one thing had changed. A shadow stood behind him in the mirror. Adrian froze. He turned around. Nothing. But in the mirror, the shadow didn't move. It stared at him with hollow eyes. Terrified, Adrian slammed the box shut. The shadow disappeared. For the next 3 days, Adrian couldn't sleep. Wherever he went, he heard the faint melody of the music box. Sometimes behind him, sometimes right next to his ear. Finally, he returned to the antique shop. Mr. Elliot looked at him as if he had been expecting him. You opened it, the old man sighed. What's inside that box? Who is that shadow? Adrian shouted. The shopkeeper didn't answer immediately. He slowly walked to a dusty shelf and pulled out an old, cracked diary. This shop, Mr. Elliot said, is cursed, not by evil, but by memories that refuse to die. He flipped open the diary and showed Adrian a faded drawing of the exact same music box. It belonged to a little girl named Lydia, who died 90 years ago. She never had a proper funeral. Her soul was trapped inside the box, waiting for someone curious enough to open it. Adrian felt the air grow colder. What does she want from me? The old man looked deeply into his eyes. She wants to be free, but she doesn't know how to let go. Every night, she tries to follow the person who opens the box, to take their place in the living world. Adrian's blood froze. So she wants to possess me? Mr. Elliot nodded slowly. You must return it. Not tomorrow, not later, now. They rushed to Adrian's room. The music box sat open, playing a slow, painful tune. The shadow stood next to it, clearer than ever, small, fragile, with empty eyes. Adrian whispered, Lydia, do you want to go home? The shadow turned its head. For the first time, Adrian didn't feel fear. He felt sadness. Tell her, Mr. Elliot said softly, that she is not forgotten. Adrian knelt down. You're not alone anymore. He said, you're free. The shadow slowly extended a hand and touched the music box. The carvings began to glow. Light filled the room. Warm, soft, peaceful. The melody changed into something beautiful, like a lullaby. When the light faded, the shadow was gone. The music box closed on its own. Mr. Elliot placed a hand on Adrian's shoulder. You did what no one else could. You freed her. Adrian returned the box to the shop. The carvings were gone. The symbols were gone. It looked like an ordinary box now, because the spirit inside had finally found peace. From that day on, whenever Adrian passed the antique shop, he no longer heard whispers, only silence. But sometimes, on rainy nights, he thought he heard a little girl's laughter, soft, distant, like a memory carried by the wind.